introduction of the 2 new members.
Okay. There's 3 new members.
Oh, yeah, but. No,
I was here last time.
Yeah, Fred.
Okay, so you're
introduced
old now,
himself.
Fred? Okay.
Yeah, I'm an old member, yeah.
That was last
He's
year.
Okay.
So
And then I
do a
approve-
motion, you-
Yes, I make a motion to approve the
Will
agenda.
someone second that? Go for it.
Second.
Thank you, Bill.
Now, do
All in
we,
favor? Aye.
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 I do know that since this evening we are, our chair and our vice chair are both absent, we do have to do a temporary chair for the evening. So I will elect Kizron. All those in favor?
aye.
Okay. Any nays? No. Good. There you go, Kizron. Go for it.
Sounds good. And then, did everyone have a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I move to approve the minutes.
All right, now do a second. I'll motion that.
Okay, motion passed. We don't have any guest speakers or
So
presentations.
can I just make a point of order? We didn't take a vote.
Yeah,
So,
take a vote
you
for
want to
the,
do a first, a motion, a support, and then a vote. Anytime you have a motion. on the
for the meeting
That's for
minutes.
the minutes.
Minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, for any issue, you're going to want to.
Okay.
okay, sounds good.
thought
So
it was
I made a
mostly
motion, Evelyn
Second,
seconded
supported it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And
Supposed to
then,
ask if there's any nays.
oh, any nays?
Got it.
And then, no guest speakers, no public comment. Financial reports, did everyone get a chance to look at the finances?
Not in detail. I did not.
I did.
Yes. I haven't had a chance to look at that.
It's just when I balance the money, it doesn't balance for me, so that's a Corinne thing.
Well, these are, again, because your meeting is sort of early this month,
Okay.
that the approvals haven't been all the way pushed through. The next board meeting is, again, going to show some of these as bills to be approved on their end as well. So
Okay.
that's the problem with the timing of getting the reports and then against other milestone times.
So what is the fiscal year?
January to
Okay.
December. Yep,
All right. So then this next year's budget already been approved, I assume?
correct.
Okay.
Did you receive a copy of that? I think I put a pack of things together for all the new commissioners and the budget and some past minutes so you could catch up.
I'll check, but I don't believe I have it.
Did I put a packet together? I can,
Showing 3. No, it means.
This is it, right?
that's the budget.
You did.
Oh, okay, great.
You did. Well, wait a minute, it was again for the period ending 12/31/24. So no, I do not have one for 2025.
Okay, it's a one-pager. It looks kind of like this. This is the,
Oh.
I can get copies. Would you like those?
Yeah, let me make sure I don't have it. I do not have it.
Okay. I'll go make some copies.
Could you make one for me,
I
too,
appreciate
please?
it.
Oh, here's one.
I have those surveys and things, but.
You did have one?
Cindy, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
This one, right? Says for 2025.
2025, yeah, that's it. Must be it.
Okay, while we await that, we can go to the next and come back. The communications in regards to the DTE grant. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Yay.
Township manager and park manager. So we have $4,000 and those will be going towards the trees. Does everyone have that in front of them? The email? Okay. Any questions or anything before we move on to the next item?
So just so I can understand it, there was a, oh, thank you. There was a request made, and then this is just a response to that request?
The grant accepted.
The grant was,
Thank you.
our request for a grant,
Yes,
and it was accepted, and at that
Correct.
point, we put it in 4 trees?
yes.
Okay.
Or I believe we put it in 4 trees because that is what the grant is. The na-
Okay.
it
That
is-
particular
yeah,
grant
it's
is for trees.
Was
yes.
4 trees, yep,
And
okay.
it's a match kind of thing, so, yeah, we said, okay, we can allot this amount, and then they agreed, and so there we go.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So
you.
where are the trees going to be planted, or where are they going to go?
We're gonna,
They'll all be located in the East China
Oh,
Big Park.
okay.
In the big park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that, I mean, by
Communication.
your discretion?
Yeah,
or
that was
something?
her, yeah, prior to asking for the grant.
Right, you knew where they were going to be and all that?
Yeah,
kind
and
of
she knew where placement was, and she had, yeah, where they needed more trees.
Okay, I'm just trying to catch up.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
no, please ask any questions you guys have. And then we also have the next item for communications is the memo from the township manager.
So that is Deanna.
No, township manager. is-
Oh, township, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, next.
Sorry, Ellen.
I'm assuming, I'm a little confused as to what the memo is. Because it's not in regards to bylaws, because that comes later.
What is the memo?
Wasn't there a request from,
That's,
there was a request for people, people presenting options?
I'm sorry, where are we? I stepped out and
The-
I'm
oh, no,
Parks,
it's okay. The
yeah,
communications. were
from you
in
to, yeah.
Memo from township manager.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Was that in regards to the bylaws? Or,
Nope, the memo, you have it here. It's just catching up some communications that I had shared throughout the month prior to today, in case you need to reference them during the meeting.
oh, I'm sorry, it says memo right there. The stapler, it's a stapler, okay, I see that, okay.
So is this where someone was asking us to give a presentation or to present some sort of additional money to be spent by us? And there was a deadline when that needed to be
Right, so we
presented?
received a request from our liaison to the community, St. Clair Foundation, Community Foundation.
Okay.
And they're trying to gather all of the various communities' priority lists and wish lists. And so although I'm aware of discussions, I can't speak for the commission per se.
Right, right.
So this evening, it would be very helpful if you could put that somewhere on your agenda to answer to those 2 priorities. They would like to know 50,000 and under and 50,000 and over for this particular budget year that you
For
are.
2025?
Correct.
And, okay. And then that needed to be, if I remember, had to be submitted by like the 16th? I mean, it was pretty soon, right?
Well, right, so the discussion, hopefully you can resolve today and then I can communicate that tomorrow.
And is there a lot of detail that needs to
Nope,
go
so
into
the
that?
questions are basically, here's our priority 1, fill in the blank, and we anticipate it's gonna cost this much. We have budgeted this much. We're hoping to, maybe find grant funding for, the balance.
Right.
So you gotta look at your budget, see what you've got in your budget,
Yep.
what your planning is, what you've got, and then expound on that for those 2 priorities.
So in the budget, there's like an excess of what we got funded for? I mean, I'm trying to come up with, what would that be? How do we determine what we want to spend it on? I'm assuming the
That's where-
5-year
yes.
plan probably
Yep.
comes into play.
Well,
Yeah.
but this is strictly according to the budget that you've adopted. So we're not doing 5-year lookout. This is 2025 fiscal year. Discussions last fall would have
As I say,
prompted
around October.
this budget. So whatever projects you have, we're trying to communicate that to the foundation.
So-
They don't
so-
have your budget.
So my question is, in the budget, we have more money asked for than what we actually got appropriated, is that correct?
Yes.
I'm
Some sections.
not sure I understand.
Okay.
Your budget is a balanced budget, and these are your projects that you have prioritized for this
Okay,
year.
okay.
So say the disc golf course, you have $1,000 for whatever, that's the under 50,000. I don't know what that, I'm just for an example. River Park, I've already made a note on here that is in fiscal year 2025. Some of your budget, some of the township's budget, and some's already grant funded. So that would be one of those over 50,000 of your two projects. I don't know of any other over 50,000 projects that.
So that's money that has not been appropriated, you're saying? There is?
It is, this year. Right. The township has put money aside, and the parks has put money aside. It's
Okay.
actually been, the past 2 years, we've been kind of pooling the funds so that when we're ready to hit the ground with a shovel, we're ready to go. So the township has some funds in their fund balance, and the Parks Commission 208 fund has some funds in their fund balance from last year. Because we kind of hit a roadblock with some of the project planning. So it didn't happen last year, but we've got plenty of time to finish that project in 2025, and we funding. It's probably a good idea if I did a whole presentation on the River Park project, maybe at the next meeting for the new commissioners. It's like a 3-phase project, and it's about $400,000 project.
So there is that project somewhere, something that we can look at and say, yeah, we want to make a pitch for this money?
Yes,
And
so
it-
we've already
so-
done that last year to the foundation, and they did a 50-50 match for our phase 1.
Yeah,
And there's a few working parts behind the scenes, one of which we had to get a survey done just to confirm some project or property boundaries. And we're in the process of selecting an engineering firm, and that firm will then begin the design engineering so we can put it out for bid. And once we get it out for bid and we have an idea, we're going to go back to the foundation to start talking about phase 2 funding and asking for some more funding for that.
and where is that detailed that we can see?
So that's actually on the website. I don't know if you have access to pop it. We have a splash page of River Park updates. I haven't put up our, we do have professional concept drawings that we got a grant to do that, and a probable cost, engineer's probable cost. And so that'll go up as soon as we are moving into the phase where we're going out for bid.
So how do we know how much money to ask for? The over 50 or under 50? I'm assuming this is an over 50.
Right, so that project, I can handle that. That's why I kind of put it on here. River project is going to be one of the two that's already been allocated. It's already in your budget. It's in our budget. It doesn't look like it's moving along, but it is in the background quite a
Okay,
bit.
so we would request to St. Clair County that they overfund that they fund more than what we've got
Not
funded?
yet, no. They're asking what your projects are. These are wish lists, right?
Okay.
So our wish list for 2025 is to complete phase 1, and I'll communicate this to the foundation, and to begin planning for funding phase 2 and 3. And so I would put that in front of them to say, phase 1, here's the funding that we are already secured. Phase 2 and phase 3 is on our wish list,
Right.
and actually for 2025
Okay.
to complete that project, or at least get it well underway.
And that's not included in the 5-year plan? We don't have that in there?
Yeah, it's actually last year's.
Okay,
If you look on the pages, they're kind of pink pages. They have all of our every year plan. You'll see River Park has quite a large section in 2024.
okay, so then, is there something that we need to vote on to,
So that's for the discussion here in the new business we will do.
right,
For
so,
the two projects that are over 50,000, and then for the two projects that are under 50,000.
When
But
it-
I'm just trying to
when it comes that
understand.
point, I would
Yeah.
suggest that you
That's just what we
focus
said,
on your
but we
two
haven't put it in
projects
gold
that
this year.
are
That's
on
how
your
much the
budget that are under
township allowed
50,000
us.
that you can communicate, here's what we're doing. And that's where you kind of also could put your wish list, like we only have 20,000 in our budget, but boy, if we had double that, we could really finish the project the way that we'd like to. So
right, and I guess I'm just trying to get some sort of grounding on what kind of paper do we have that shows this? I mean, do we all know that's what, I mean, I'm not sure we all know.
That's really what needs to happen. You have to discuss as a group. We have gotten some communications from one individual who has told me what they are, but I
Right.
would rather hear the commission as a whole discuss those and tell me, this is what you want me to communicate back to them.
So where is that information that I can look at and see what we want and what we're short and how much money we need and all that kind
Well,
of stuff?
Fred, kind of like on this budget, this is our wish list, this is what the township kind of allotted us, you know, like, and of course, if you look at something.
So this is our budget.
Yes,
This is what we got
Just
approved.
talking to her for this year, correct.
Okay, understand.
Yes, this is the approved budget, and this is gonna be the basis for your discussion. For
So for
2025.
example, we need more benches, a lot more benches to run the parks, but, you know, when we started our budget in '24 for '25, we said, okay, these are bare bones that we do need, but if we were gonna ask for more things, we could ask for more benches. That's always a big deal.
So we'd ask for more
Okay.
than this.
Yes,
But
We always do.
these
This is
elements,
what's-
these are the elements that we would discuss
what
if we
we
can
sub-
increase.
I would focus on,
Well, don't get
no,
yeah.
disturbed. I'm just trying to understand what,
Approved budget items, the projects here.
Yep.
I would focus on those, and you can expand on those, like Evie was saying, you know, boy, you know, we put money in there for like 5 benches, but we could use 15,
okay,
something like that.
okay.
because
We'll
we're
talk
talking
more about
matching money now. This was money that the township, that we submitted to our township to at least get a base amount, so we could get 5 benches. But now if we can get a grant to give us 15 benches, that's what we're looking at today. Does that make sense?
And
It
that's a-
makes
That's
sense,
a really
but-
good example, because we did just put in a grant for the M Parks Foundation for some benches, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, and then another ask to this funder, and another ask to this funder, and then you have your full project funded partly by you and partly by others.
Yeah, I mean, but for example, I don't see benches on here. I mean, it's got to be included somewhere else in here, is that correct?
So this is just basic cost center budget, but I think if you look under, here, here's the one that's more detailed.
So this kind of, what I like to think about this is how it's related to this right here. Do you see this? So over here, we're not gonna list all the projects and all the things that we do, like for example, trees, we're not gonna list trees here or like benches, right? So for me, in my mind, to keep it all together, like, and also because the numbers are correlated with where the
No,
the funds are coming from.
yeah, I
So you got
understand.
10,000 in the main park, okay?
Yeah.
That's covering the whole, whatever you can get done. And some of those discussions have circled around the pavilion sides and around more benches and some sidewalk additions. So that $10,000 is all you have to spend on improvements at that park. Boy, if you had 30,000, you could do a lot more.
Are we looking at
Okay.
Main Park, is that what I mean?
Yeah, main park,
Capital improvements?
Yes.
Okay,
okay.
so that's what we're talking about, is really capital improvements.
Yeah, it depends.
And
Doesn't have to be?
we can edit, and throughout the year, we can say, well, I see some money in this park, I would like to have this. And we can ask the treasurer and as well as the, Corinne to be like, we would like the funds to be removed from this area. Depending upon where we are progressing through the year and the funds and what our budget is like.
So again, you don't really have to worry about moving money around at all. You've got one
Yeah,
fund.
okay.
It's the bottom line. At the end of the year, you hope to have.
I just want to get an idea what our priorities are and what we'd like to have money for. That's
your-
really what I'm,
That's the
I would
commission's.
say it's.
Okay.
yeah, I know,
well,
that's what I
so-
asked
I
about.
love that, yeah, I love the
Have
part,
we had
yeah,
discussions about this,
the plan.
about the wish list yet?
Yeah, and earlier in the week, the chair sent,
And email.
like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
sent it to everyone and said, hey, you know, it's gonna be at this meeting, what are your ideas? What would you like to see done? What's your wish list? So whatever anybody sent to her would have been what she would have put on there.
I'm just trying to get grounded on what we
Oh,
want.
yes, yeah.
So,
I don't
so what
In
was the
the
discussion?
past, we've also had, the park manager has sent us a great list. And I believe there was like a breakdown, I need to go find that in that email somewhere, because that was actually, quite useful as well, because in addition to the 5-year plan, we had the park managers, because she's the one out there, and she kind of sees where the improvements and updates are needed. And they kind of had, like, priorities, you know, like red, I think she highlighted them specifically in terms of what was needed and what we should focus on. So once I find that, I can email that to everyone as well.
So we're
That's in
not
addition to-
prepared to
as
discuss it
ideas.
tonight, or?
Well, we kind of are, especially because there's a deadline. So there are things that we know in terms of the 5-year plan, what to focus on. Like, for example, the kiddyscape, that's been rotting away. Well, not rotting away, but it's slowly
Understand.
deteriorating for a while. So that's something we definitely need to focus on. The benches, as Evelyn and Evie mentioned, as well as there was something else. The jog park, that's like one of them, that's about 50,000 that we would like to kind of
So
prioritize as well.
the dog park?
Yes.
Yeah. With-
Remember
okay.
how we had, I don't know if you were here, but in the past we've had
I don't know how to redirect.
precision care, I believe, and they had come up and done a couple, you know, scenarios of how we can try to renovate the dog park, because moving the dog park would not be feasible and would not be.
Yeah, I think the last time we were here, we
Yes.
talked about just fixing the
touching-
drainage problem,
Yep,
right?
exactly, yeah. So those are some things which we will,
Okay.
it's gonna definitely be.
Okay,
coming up.
all right.
So now we can go back to the financial reports. Thank you, Cindy, for bringing the sheet for us, for the adapted 2025. But we are, I mean, I guess I can go, I think we should table the approval. I don't know
Well,
what do you-
did you look at the wish list that was emailed to us?
Oh, sorry, I went back to the financial reports. Since
Oh,
we
I'm
had
sorry.
moved away from that, I think we should table that discussion until approval comes through, because that's, I think.
Table what, I'm sorry, you're on financial reports?
I went back to the financial reports, yeah.
Okay. What are you tabling?
To table that discussion until the approvals come through and until the budget is properly, or no?
I'm not following.
On the financial report, what we do have is fine.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know if that's a end of year, if everything's been in and tallied yet, but you know, everything that is on it.
We have not closed the books yet on 2024. So this is that time in limbo. Bear
Right.
with us.
Right.
But that really shouldn't be a concern.
No.
Okay, so then we really don't have anything approval, like we really can't approve the bills then, correct?
So we have to wait until next month to?
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
She's looking at number 8 here.
These are really just for your information. I know you say approval in here, I'm not sure
Yeah, it's
what
not.
the function is.
Yeah,
of
all
that
it
word.
is aware
Okay.
that, oh, there was a DTE bill, oh, there was the East China Charter Town, you know, like,
Okay.
and those bills do belong to the park
Right,
and not somewhere else.
okay.
And the amount of money is,
So it's really budget review, is that what this is? Just, we agree with the budget?
It's your agenda. I'm not sure what this item, its
I'm not either.
purpose is. But we communicate these financial reports to you each meeting, and they are as accurate as they are as of, 4 o'clock today. But
and
this is a meeting-
occasionally we will see a bill and we can say to Deanna, what is that for? You know, and then she can explain it to us. That's pretty much
Right,
why
yeah.
we're looking
You see
at it.
something that's concerning, or you're just curious about?
Okay, so. we-
So I make a motion
Okay,
to approve the financial agenda, the financial report. Does anybody will second that?
okay. I will
Support that?
second,
Thank
and
you.
then we need roll call. Betty?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Approve.
Fred?
I'll approve it.
I say yes,
Yes.
and then Bill?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess approval passed, or motion passed. And then, moving on, we have discussed 9, so moving on to 10, park manager's report. Everyone have that in front of them?
Ms. Ryan, can I interrupt, please?
Oh, sorry.
So we did talk about 9, but we didn't do anything about 9.
No, that's just communication.
So my question is, did you guys print, like, I printed off the email that was sent earlier about the wish list? And I thought that was between all of us when she sent the wish so that we could do a vote tonight, you know, like, did you guys?
Oh, I
get
thought we
an
were
email
voting.
from our
I
chair?
don't
Yeah.
remember
I would say
printed
the
it.
communications, I'm just sharing information that may be useful to you tonight. I
Yeah.
wouldn't spend any more time on that, you might want to move on to the park manager report,
I think number
and then add that
Okay.
to
new
your
business
discussion
is
under
where
new
we were
business.
discussing it. We're gonna
Okay.
consider new business.
Good
Yes.
enough.
So then going back to park manager's report, any questions or anything? There's nothing we need to approve.
No.
Deanna, nice job on the lights. I saw the lights on some of the Christmas trees when I was driving by one night.
Joe did that. I
Well,
was
tell
like-
Joe thank you, that was cute.
He tried. Next year we're doing it for sure.
I think around the township sign too would be really
Gotta
pretty.
get power moved over there, so that's a whole nother.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's on
Solar,
my list.
solar.
Right.
Very nice.
Excuse me.
So the email you're talking about is the one that came out on January 11th?
No, Deanna's.
Oh,
Is
no,
that the
we're
one you're talking about?
Park manager.
No, I know, I'm talking about the other one. I
Wish
moved
list.
backwards.
Oh.
So, all right,
Oh.
go ahead.
Did you have any questions or anything about the park manager's report?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay. All right. I guess the one thing is, it says here you might have information for the meeting about the light.
The sled hill light?
Yeah.
He's trying to find something that will work for a replacement, but we might possibly be able to join that light in with the township light upgrades. So I'm just getting estimates right now and then waiting for approval from the supervisor to see if they want to incorporate that with the DTE street light program or not. And then I'll bring it back next month and see if, just hope that the one light keeps working for the time being. Otherwise, we'll just have to put Sled Hill closed, but it's working so far. So there will be no expense on our end as of now.
That's good.
Okay, thank you. Then we have the township.
I got nothing. We canceled our last meeting a couple Mondays ago, I believe, and so there was no business to attend to, so our next meeting is next Monday. So, are there any concerns or questions or anything?
I did have a question.
Sure.
I believe at the last meeting, there were going to be discussions about, is this coming up? The pays and all that.
Yep, that was
And that was
gonna
gonna be
be,
after us, it was like the Monday after.
yep, it was supposed to, well,
Was that canceled as well, or no?
yeah, that's the one, I believe that's the one that was.
Oh, that's,
No, that wouldn't have been the one that's canceled.
yeah, exactly. So then you mentioned there were going to be discussions about that, and approval at that meeting?
Not approval necessarily, but we've talked about it behind the scenes. There's gonna be a workshop. I don't know if I think it's before this next coming meeting, but there's gonna be a workshop about stuff going on in the township, and the pay's gonna come up during that, so.
Okay.
When is the workshop?
It would be 6 o'clock on Monday, the 20th.
I'm not
If-
aware
if-
of anything scheduled for prior to the meeting on the 20th.
Okay.
Okay,
Allegedly, I don't know.
and then approval would take place at the meeting, or that's just discussion?
That's discussion, yeah.
Okay,
There has to be a resolution for pay for anybody because it's considered a salary. There has to be a resolution written up, but.
mhm. And then the meeting after is when and so then
What-
potentially by our
Potentially.
next meeting, we would,
Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the
Oh,
board
well,
necessarily, but I mean, I'm
okay.
just saying that the process would be, we would discuss it. We've already discussed it once, but we'll
mhm.
be discussing the details, and then the resolution would be presented.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
So moving on to new business, approval of the list. Project list by Harmer. Is that the email that we were,
Did you read that?
that we were
Yes.
looking at? Yeah, because that's not in here yet. Okay.
That's this email, I printed it from home. Through it.
So now, what are we talking about now?
So we're on new business, and we're talking about this right here. And this is in regards to the email that the chairperson
She'll
shared.
probably think.
And that is the two projects above $50,000 as
And
well as the
under,
two projects below $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the two projects above $50,000 that she wanted to, let's actually do the ones below, sorry. The two projects under $50,000 were the dog park as well as the additional benches along the walkways.
I read it. Okay.
And the dog park is something that we have been working on, and that is actually on the 5-year plan as well as budgeted for. So I don't know if there's any other discussion needed for that. I guess an approval is needed for that
Yeah, like,
as well as,
So this is for the under 50?
yes.
Mhm.
And are we combining the two then, or are we supposed to do two different motions?
Two different motions, weren't there? One under and
I
one
just need
over.
the commission to come to a conclusion as to what two priorities are for under 50,000, and if you have a priority for one already planned for over 50,000.
So I think the answer to your question is one was under 50 and one was over 50.
Yeah, two projects.
Two projects.
For under and two for over. So the two projects for under, does everyone agree with the dog park as well as more benches in the parks? Or anyone have any other ideas or anything else they'd like to do instead? This was something brought by the chairperson as well as the vice chair.
I would go with what, I mean, from my standpoint, I would go with the chair.
The benches, well, we can do both.
Mhm.
So the benches as well as dog parks, okay. So that's, we are set for the under $50,000.
Well, I'd like to know how much are you planning these projects, aside from what's in your budget? We know what you've got. What is your wish list?
And
So,
for the-
I think according to this, it said for the dog park, our funds should show a carryover 11,000 from last year and 30,000 in this year's budget. So I'm assuming, is that what's lacking?
oh, it's still more than that that's lacking. We were going to do that in like 2 phases or 3 phases. I think it was like 65,000 for like 2 or 3 years.
Right, so would this be an under 50 for, so we're asking for that for this year? An additional $40,000 to make up 11,000 from last year and 30,000 for this year? Is that what she's saying in this? I don't,
No, besides the 11,000 last year and the 40 that 30 that we promised for this year.
Okay.
So that's 41,000. We're asking if we could, yeah.
Yeah.
How
there it
much
is.
do you want more than
add
that?
it to it, because if I remember right, does anybody remember? 65, I think it was 65,000, 2 or 3 years in a row to get it from phase.
Total.
Completed.
Yeah, okay. So it'd be 65 minus 41.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're asking for basically 25 grand or something.
And what can happen is if they do match us or do give us that grant, maybe we can do phase 1 and 2 instead of doing one this year and then save some more money for next year. We can
Cool.
get both of them this year. That's why, yeah.
So just to be clear, they're not asking you to, they're asking you, what is this total project cost? Okay, what is the total project cost for whatever it is that you're talking about?
Oh, the
Including the money that,
The total project, doesn't matter where it's coming from. What's it
I
gonna
think,
cost
wasn't
to
it
do the
like-
project?
It's, I don't remember, but it was,
Which project are
We're talking the dog one, the dog park. I know that was 65,000, but wasn't that just for phase 1? Or was that for everything, for them to do the,
I think that was, yeah, I don't think that was only phase 1.
oh man, I have to start reading my old notes. All right, well, let's,
Because it sounds like that's over 50,000.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
So they wanted to know the total
Over-
value of the project.
What's that?
Yeah.
They want the total value of the
They want to
project?
know how much is this project on your wish list? How much does it cost?
Well, it's more than a wish list, right? Because we got some money already funded for it.
So like actionable project. I don't remember.
Can you focus on the under 50? Of the projects you mentioned, the benches, we've talked about,
Of course, I'm in favor for the benches, under 50,
Yes.
bam.
Is that in addition to the grant that Cindy already applied for the benches? So more benches for this next one? Okay.
so your wish list, maybe 10 benches. Okay, just throwing that out there. And so this is what you communicate to the foundation. We would like to install 10 benches this year. The total cost of that is going to be $15,000. We have funding allocated for 3 benches. We would like to ask on our wish list for the balance of that money.
Okay,
That's how you would present it.
right. And that's kind of where I was going with it, right? So 65,000 for the dog park, of which we got 41,000 approved. Something like that, right?
With the bench one, can you add in, like, since they're going to be ADA accessible concrete, can you add on some of the extra disc golf pads?
It's a wish
that we-
list.
Absolutely.
I mean, like in one under 50?
It's a wish list.
Yeah.
What is your, if
So
you
I
had
feel
it,
like we
if
should
you could
be
do
able
it all
to
this year,
incorporate additional
what would you
benches
do?
on that and then put in additional disc golf pads, since we got a handful of them in this year, let's try to keep going and get them all in.
Yeah, let's add those two. Yeah.
So how much are we asking for then? Additional?
$49,999.
$99. 99
Might
cents.
as well.
Because it would, I mean, we could,
So the idea is, some of these projects, like, maybe they just want to install a small playscape, you know, and that's going to be $25,000, total project cost. So you tell them that. And you said, well, it's in our budget, but we were going to get a much smaller one because we only had 10,000. But you put it on your wish list, we'd like twice the size.
Got it. So what do we want to do then?
because these were already on our radar. These are things that we already are working towards completion, so I feel like that would be something that's good because we've already started that process.
How many pads did we get this last year?
Oh, good question.
Oh, so we have,
1, 2, 3.
oh, there's 18,
just
so we have a
5.
bunch to get yet.
Oh, yeah, we got
Okay.
a long ways to go.
So what did we spend per bench now? Do you know what we're spending?
That's hard to say because you're getting per bench was about.
You're talking about two
25?
different projects.
Yeah, well,
Like
right.
2,500,
I was
right,
talking-
per bench?
yeah,
Yeah.
Did that include the addition that you're talking about?
the concrete pad.
Concrete pad?
No.
So,
So those ran us about, I think it was $800 a pad, but that was at a discounted rate because I said, okay, if you're gonna do these 2 pads, how
Right.
much for these more pads? So the more concrete you get with one truck, the price per project goes down.
sure.
So if we could lump anything that's gonna be concreted together, we can get more for less.
Okay, so we're talking,
So that's like 4,000 then? So 2,500 was like a regular bench, and then 800's for the concrete slab, like at a discounted rate.
I
So
think it was like
about
2,500 with the pad is what we.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, $2,500 for a bench installed on a proper pad.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
Okay.
let's focus on that as a project.
all right.
okay.
So we've put in a request for a funding for 3 benches so far.
So
How many
we
was
have
that?
funding for 3.
We put in a request.
We-
We put in a request to match.
So-
Right now, we have funding for a bench and a half.
Oh, we only have 1.5 funded.
We will find out in March if we get the other bench and a half. And then you could add this onto your wish list. Do you want 7 more benches funded by another funding source? This is how to make it very simple.
So, and so we were looking for 10.
I'm throwing that
No,
number out.
I know,
there
I'm
to-
just asking the question, is that what
Commission.
we're?
We've not put a number on it, but I mean, the more benches, nobody's gonna complain if, if there's
Yeah.
more than less.
So we're really, I mean, we're looking for 25 grand, basically, right?
Oh, yeah, we can spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could
That's
spend
not a
all of
problem.
anything under the 50, so I mean, if you wanted to do, okay, we want to do all of, just benches for that, or if you wanted to lump in whatever else.
Right.
Nope,
No
don't combine
lumping. Well, you
things.
said it's a wish list, so I'm wishing.
We went 2 separate projects, and I wouldn't worry about the details of, well, if you buy
How
more,
many
you get more.
benches
That's what I was
did we
saying,
want?
is could you
No.
do the
Do you have any
benches
idea
with
on how many
the
total
disc
we
pads,
want?
but
Oh,
now
I
you're
have
saying
no
no, it's a-
idea.
I would
Yeah.
present
How
it as
many?
2 separate, because
I
what
know
they're
we
doing
ordered-
is they're
we got
taking
1.5
these wish
last
lists,
year,
and then they're
but
gonna
I was
start
gonna
looking
say-
for funding
Okay.
all
The
over the
extra
place.
benches can always
A
go
disc
by the
golf
disc golf.
funding
18
source
holes,
has
what
to
is
be
it down
given.
somewhere?
Right.
So there's a
Yeah.
bunch.
So
We
there's
can
always
have a bunch.
need- Yeah, plus we can go up and down the river, we have other parks, we have 5 parks total,
Right.
so
Okay.
there's more than there's never enough benches, so that. And then the dog park, if you want to do the 50 and above on the dog park, and then do the 25, or vice versa, you could do it either way, or whatever else.
Is the playscape in the over 50 then?
Yeah, that would be an
Okay.
over 50 for sure.
Depending on what your phase you're at, okay.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
click on
I
this.
kind
So
of
I
like
say
the
I
under
like that.
50 being benches and over 50 being the dog park. I mean, that's kind of where we're focused, right?
Yeah,
We can do,
except for, there's only one more thing.
So I'd like to show you this image here. This is the original design when we built the new playground at the main park. This design is in place, has been in place, we installed it in '22? And design phase in '21. So as you see it is what is installed except for the second bay here on the far side.
can you kind of, where's that at?
I'm drawing. So it's called a zip cruise, and you see the one on the right with the little bucket seat
Yep,
right
yep,
here?
yep.
This is not installed. This was a planned project that got, I'm not sure,
Over time, as people transition in and out, these things have kind of fallen off the radar, and they shouldn't have.
So that could be a 50 and over
this
one.
could definitely be a 15 over one. Everything else is already installed, but the zip cruise is one of our most popular items that we have in the park. Like, it is a destination.
And we know how much that is? I mean,
It's
that's,
this, because we have the biggest one they make is 66 feet long, so to install the second one, and this one's called a Zip Cruise Assist, so this actually has a bucket seat with a harness, so it is accessible for anybody with disabilities. I honestly have just as many adults that ride this thing as I do kids, so I think this would really be a huge draw.
do we have a dollar value on that?
This runs from 20 to 50,000 just for the item, so I would say with installation, you're looking at probably close to 60 or 65,000
Okay.
for this addition.
Okay.
And the space was already designed to include this, so it's all set and ready to
So,
go.
yeah,
It's just
we should finish.
a purchase and an
Yes,
install.
definitely.
So this
My
would be
rep is
an
out of
additional that's
town.
not budgeted. We have no budget for this, right?
We have, did you say 10,000 in?
This project has not been discussed by this commission in over 3 years.
Right.
Because it fell off. So-
Got it. Got it.
But in our research, when Deanna and I are chatting about, where are we at with some of these projects, we're wondering why was this abandoned?
Sure.
Why wasn't it finished? And this is the kind of thing that funders want to see you do. They want to see you finish projects.
Yep, got it. Okay, so
So that
that's
could be an
one over
over
50.
$50,000.
And we can do more than one over 50? I mean, we could throw the dog park in there too?
Yeah, I think we should be able to, right?
I have no idea. I mean, like, can you request on your wish list
These
more
aren't-
than one thing?
Yeah, so we're not asking for funding, they're just asking for projects.
Ah,
Okay,
Put a dollar
then
on
there
it.
you go, all right.
Oh,
Okay, that's
ding,
good to
ding,
know.
ding, all right.
Didn't
We
it
have a
just say
dog
two-
park that's over
two items?
50,000. We
Okay.
have that, what is that little zip
we
line
were-
thing called?
Zip Cruise Assist.
Zip Cruise Assist and then dog park, I guess you thought that was 65-ish too?
Just this year, yeah, so, yeah.
Okay. And so to get it completely done would be 65? The dog park?
No, more. I think it's around 180 altogether, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Can anybody remember? He was just here in like October.
I, at this point,
It does, yeah.
if you could prioritize, your top two, keeping in mind River Park is a high priority, but it's already underway. So,
River Park is what?
The one across from the Marwood.
we had it up a bit ago, the concept plan.
So the two for over 50,000 of the Zip Cruise Assist and the dog park?
And
Yeah,
just-
okay, yeah, that,
Okay.
okay.
I think that's
got
good.
it.
Yeah,
Good.
so those are our wish lists.
And then under 50 was,
Do you want to include
Benches.
River Park on there?
I'll
me?
communicate the
Okay.
status of it, because they're already aware of it.
okay,
It's
so we'll just
something that
give you
they're
the
aware of.
top line, and then as we agree that this is what we want to go for, and then you'll fill in the details of what we're
Exactly.
budgeted?
So all I was looking for
Okay.
is that the commission itself sets that priority list and not us.
Do you need a dollar value on the benches, or just a number of
No, we
benches?
have those figures.
Okay, so how many benches do we want to do under 50 grand?
many-
50
as many as we can
divided
get.
by number of benches, like you said? Yeah,
However many they'll give us, we'll do.
Okay.
so it sounds like 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really good.
okay.
Okay. All right.
Do we all agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we
We
make a
can
motion?
submit that to.
Yeah, let's
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead and do it, whatever.
I would have done it during your, yeah.
You would have done what?
On the side, Deanna's got some more information, some updates about the dog park. So,
Oh,
whenever you
okay.
want that.
Okay. Do we need to know that to make this motion?
That's up to you and how you feel about it.
Well, why don't you tell us? I mean,
I'm going to show you.
okay,
So, December 30th, my employee went over and he got some videos of the dog park, the existing dog park. And he was
Okay.
like, is this supposed to be happening? Because literally Record Ditch was a river feeding into the dog park.
yeah.
Like a current was blowing it in.
Did it make it unusable for the people, or?
I just want some things to be considered. I've said a little bit, but have not been able to show much. This is the culvert coming from Record Ditch, feeding into the dog park.
Yeah.
Those trees are the dog park.
Yeah. So did it use it, was it unusable then, when that happened?
People still use it, but they're not happy.
Just got
with
wet
it.
dogs, okay.
So, I'm not sure what order these are in at all. And I don't know how to make it bigger because it was from a cell phone. This is the south end.
Oh, my.
Hmm. Yeah,
I mean, the whole area, it's not just the dog park, it is the whole area surrounding it. Once, I think the next one will show you more of the, but I mean, you could see this.
yeah, I mean,
It's, I don't know.
that sounds pretty high priority to me, right? I mean,
Which is what we're working on this year,
Yeah.
trying to get, yeah. And of course, it's winter, so we have to remember it's winter, snow. That all is also kind of playing into it.
What I'm saying is, even surrounding that area, there's nowhere
Yeah.
for the water to go.
Yeah, right.
So
So,
this is why we need like a little culvert or like a drainage system thing there. To drain the water or like to subvert, like,
Well,
Push it.
the problem is, and we've talked about this before, is that the dog park itself is the lowest point. It's
in the park.
in the park.
Mhm.
So water goes where water wants to go. You can try and mitigate, and I know that that has been the plan of this commission. We're just maybe cautioning you and investing tens of thousands of dollars,
Maybe 100.
hundreds, $1,000.
So I went on Google Earth this afternoon and I measured, I mean, it's pretty accurate, you know, but I was able to measure the existing dog park. This is the fence line. And it came out to 20,514 square feet. Okay?
but we kind of want to go.
Then
with
I
what-
went back. Hang on, 'cause and I kind of outlined the usable spaces of that dog park. And that ends up being 12,329 square feet, because all of the area that is not highlighted anymore is typically underwater.
Mhm. Mhm.
So what I'm trying to tell you guys is in order, if you want to move forward with filling in this area, this dog park will be out of order for the season. This fencing on the north end up here, if underneath the usable space, that fence will all have to come out. This guardrail where these cars are will have to come out. We'll have to hard pack the ground between the two so that anything hauling in the material can get the material into this space, because this entire pathway here is all brand new. Our utility gate is here, in a hole.
Did we have somebody come in and make a
Yes.
We did.
proposal? Okay.
And they said it is feasible.
Yeah.
And I
that they
can't
will do it in
remember all,
phases.
I can't remember all the
The details.
jargon,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
said, yes, you can change the grade, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And here's the reason why, Fred, is because they want to move the dog park and take away one of the baseball diamonds.
right, right.
But
Which is
when
costly.
We talked about that last
When we
time.
spoke to people, they weren't so keen on it, you know, so we're kind
They
of
were
like.
not, were not keen on it.
Right,
Yeah.
so
The
we're
citizens
kind of, you know, we're in the middle of like, okay,
Yeah.
baseball might come back, so we have to, yeah, because you can't put a baseball diamond on the middle of this corner, so we're kind of stuck between a hard place and a rock. That's why we hired a company to come in and survey it and do what they do, you know, so.
And that information is available
Oh,
somewhere?
yeah, we have it, we have, you know.
So who has that?
Cindy might have the blueprints. Do you have the blueprints?
No, we don't have any
Township-
records on this particular project that I can locate.
Really? Okay.
But they were, I mean.
They weren't hired
were-
by the township though, that was hired by the
Yeah.
Parks Commission.
No,
Or
I-
Parks, excuse me, Parks.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
we did
what-
that.
Okay.
I don't know what was done. I know our engineer and surveyor did not go out there.
Mhm. But as a park commission, we hired somebody to come in and look at it.
Correct, yes.
And is it
They gave
possible
us
to?
like 3 options. We do have all that paperwork.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can I show you a couple other things with this?
Okay.
sure.
Because I've never really been able to explain myself with my thoughts on moving it. So, in order for anyone in this location to use a restroom, they're going all the way over here. I don't know, to the far upper left.
Yeah, I see it,
I don't know how
yeah.
to make my mouse any bigger.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This is
It's
the only
by the two,
restroom
right?
in the
Up there.
East China Park that is not accessible
To a
This is-
bathroom.
to the bathroom. So we've made this dog park.
Fine for the
entrance
dogs.
Accessible, but there is no accessibility to this restroom at this time. So in
Right.
order for anyone to get to the restroom, they are going all the way
Yeah,
to either the main restrooms at this octagon on the north side here, or they're going all the way over here to the soccer side. That's one thing to consider with keeping the space.
okay, yeah, I got it.
Oh, I can
All
zoom
right.
in.
But see, like, I haven't received any complaints about bathroom usage. It's more,
I'm just
So-
showing you comparisons. I'm
Yes.
just gonna go from
No,
this
I
one to
mean,
the
it's
other.
all
just
good, well, it's her points, I mean.
right.
So going to over here, these are the softball fields that haven't been used since before COVID. I just want to show you. This is the softball field that I'm proposing, the far west. If you see the blue squares here, rectangles, those are 2 entrances already made. Those are 2 dugouts. So we could easily just insert a fence down the center, and you'd already have an entrance for small dogs and big dogs. It's just a matter of paving an accessible pathway to each of those.
Can you park near there?
This is all parking up on top there.
Okay,
And I have more pictures that I can show you of that, but the yellow sort of circle square here is where I propose to take the backstop out and install a pavilion there. So it can be used by either large,
just an open pavilion.
yep, it'll be on the outside of the fence, so it can be utilized by either people with small dogs or big dogs. Whereas to have these, excuse me, orange lines, those are already service accesses. So we have a service gate here already installed. So it's for maintenance, for lawn maintenance, for us doing maintenance for, you know, garbage. This one down here is also. So we have 2 entrances already made to get small dogs and big dogs in. We have 2 gates already in for maintenance of the fields. We basically only have to install a fence down the middle, and then you'd have all this money to play with as far as putting in a pavilion and putting in anything accessible. We already have a grant for, 20 trees, Cindy, for this year to plant, that we could
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And this is the highest and driest spot of the entire park.
And you could add some trees on that too then?
And this restroom here is accessible. The building up here on the top right is an accessible restroom. This pavilion over here to the far right is next to never rented. So I feel like if there's a dog park here and a pavilion that we're not gonna allow cooking at here, because, you don't want that by the dogs.
Is there lighting?
No, because we're technically closed after dark. But I would like to, Cindy and I have already been in discussions of putting streetlights at all of our gates. So there would be, same as the dog park we have here, an illuminated parking area, which broadcasts into the dog park.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now, this was already discussed back in October, November, and December, and half our, and I had to go to a township meeting for this to, I'm not making any decisions. And unfortunately, you never said anything ever when we were talking about it. Like, you never said, I got a great idea. Unfortunately, and after the fact,
Well,
it's kind of like,
honestly, I don't think that, I think that the vision was always steered that way. And so I directed Deanna not to spend a lot of time and resources coming up with other solutions, because the former commission were very adamant that they were not moving that park.
It was brought up at the last meeting that we weren't gonna do that.
Well,
That
also
we were gonna
because-
focus
It was
on.
more or less, I wasn't asked my opinion, so I didn't give
Okay,
it.
I'm just saying what happened, my recollection of the last meeting.
Well, more so because the residents, the reason why they like the dog park where it is at its current location is because of the visibility and the access from the main road. Having to drive in all the way and then also uprooting something that's already, which has a potential of revenue and profits in the future. And where, uprooting something like that, which has the activity for everyone else to it involved, which we did have granted before COVID, but doesn't mean it's not going to come back. We can't just, so in our minds, the focus was, and to listen to what the residents were saying. They like where the dog park is, they just don't like the fact that it has draining issues. We hired a company to come survey the land and to give us ideas and how to circumvent that and how to fix that. And they have given us, we could probably have him possibly share those ideas again. We have new board members, it might help. Or I believe there might be a recording, if there is a recording. I can go back to the specific.
it was October.
October?
I think it was
Yeah.
October's
Okay.
meeting.
If so, I can definitely share then the email with you guys.
Yeah, that'd be
And
great.
he had wonderful, not only, they weren't as great as, they weren't
Was that the
digital,
one?
but they were great renditions.
Where's the blueprints?
The blueprints. He actually left those for us. I don't know where those blueprints are.
They were here, left here.
And they showed steps that could be taken. In fact, we've discussed all of this before, and even moving it down the road, keeping it along the main road. That area also had draining issues. So there's, we kind of. This is what the residents and citizens want, and so
Yeah.
we're just
So
sticking
I
with
want
it.
to I'm not sure of any survey that's been done to actually get a broad opinion of what the residents want. So if that does exist, we should consider that.
Definitely.
But for the fact, but going forward for a wish list, we probably ought to throw this in, right? Where it's at, to fix the dog park.
Just
Well,
to
that
fix
is
it
what-
existing, where it's
The
existing,
existing now.
yes,
Yes.
Yep, yeah, that's our.
And you can do
that's
that.
our-
I think we just wanted the chance to present the
And
reasoning
that's great.
behind other options.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
also
Yeah.
to be very clear that this project, you will not have a dog park for the full season. It will be shut down.
Understand.
So,
I think people
Understand.
would understand that.
Yeah.
I think
don't-
so.
I believe he mentioned it was going to cut off parts of it, so I think I might just need to check.
Yeah, we
with
need to
Cindy.
really understand what the whole proposal was, I guess, right?
It
I
hasn't
believe it
gone
was just cutting
to
off.
the point of engineering and design. You're
I
going to have
got
to
you,
do
I got
engineering and
you,
design.
I got you.
Yeah, and you'll learn a lot more at that point.
Yep, okay.
Engineers' probable costs and all of that. I believe the person who did the presentation is in landscaping and was providing that perspective.
Right, may not have been a professional engineer, who knows, right? Okay, well, we'll find out. But I mean, do we agree that kind of like where it's at, and maybe we ought to fix what we
And to be
got?
honest, the only people we did survey is the dog people, because those are the only people who go there.
Sure,
I mean,
of
if you
course,
ask me,
of
I'd
course.
say, I don't care, because I
Yeah.
don't bring my dog there, but that's the survey for that.
It's definitely
And,
the number one use
You know,
of
like, it
it.
doesn't sound like a lot,
getting
but there's a
used a
lot of
lot.
people who do that
Who
park.
do,
Just
yeah.
like the
It's
survey,
used.
we did do the formal survey. When you look at the end for the playscape, only 20 people answered out of our whole township.
Because it was a very passive survey.
Well,
Now, to-
but, I
it was
mean,
to get
so-
the ball
Okay.
rolling, if you were to do a survey, you would place representatives at the locations that you're asking. You'd put QR codes up at the locations that you're
Right.
asking for input. So that is just a very simple, get the ball rolling survey that we started. for
And
that
that's
place
kind of
to-
what we did. Simple, just ask the people who use it, you know, and there was no,
Yeah, I say,
Okay,
you're right, it was
okay.
pretty minor, but,
pretty basic, yeah.
but, I mean, it's pretty basic here too, right? What we-
Exactly, yeah. Okay, let's
I-
move on.
Well, do we want to complete the above and below 50 or
Oh,
not?
I think,
You already did.
I thought we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just wanted to give you that
So it's-
heads up
Yeah.
that.
So we did the dog park,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
and we got in at 165
We
grand or
wanted you
whatever.
to go
Maybe.
into it with full, information
Yep.
and disclosure about what
Okay.
other things had been
My,
discussed.
my
and-
apologies, I
Oh,
didn't know
no,
we did
not at
that.
all, please. No, please ask away. Okay, so then the next thing was to show the 5-year plan on the big screens. And so the new members do have their 5-year plan
Yep.
packets with them.
You
So I
know,
guess that's just to show, like in the future, I guess we're just showing that in the,
And we're starting year 2 of that 5-year plan now, you guys.
Got it.
So we're,
I see it.
yeah.
Can you
See the dates
clarify
on here.
the request to show 5-year plan on the big screen TV during meetings? I'm not sure I follow.
I'm not sure either. I think that was a Don thing, but Don's not here. I think he just wanted to have a visual every
Yeah.
month. I don't know. I'm
or
happy
maybe just
with,
have a copy for us, just one
I have my
at
copy.
least.
I'm good.
Yep, everyone has
I'm
a
good.
copy, and it's on the website. And I offered to make printed copies for anyone who wanted
We have,
them.
I just don't know how easy anything would be able to read from that.
I'm just not sure of the intent.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't have a laptop. We can possibly use Deanna's when we have needs to show things. But I just wanted clarification. If you needed something from us, I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. So the next thing is for the new business, introduction of new members. We were lucky to get Fred's introduction last meeting. We are excited to have all 3 of you join us. So if Betty, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
What do you need to know?
I don't
We just
know.
moved here to East China,
Welcome.
several years ago.
Yeah,
It's been several
years,
years.
yeah.
I'm sorry, can I
That's
lose my
okay,
voice?
still.
Back with a computer science degree, I worked at hospitals doing Epic systems analyst, and I was ready to retire, so here we are. We got grandkids in Marysville, keep us busy. Yeah, so we enjoy it.
Did you ever go to their park?
Excuse me, do I what?
Oh, yeah, all the
Did you ever go to
time,
Marysville Park?
all
We
the
do.
time.
It's
There we
nice
go.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
But we like coming here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use this one
And we
a
go to
lot.
the, what is it called, Greg or Greg, however you say that?
Craig. Park,
Craig,
yeah.
Craig,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a
Fair.
nice one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
That
ride
leaves you,
bikes
Bill.
through here all the
Who are
time.
you?
Yeah, we do.
I am Bill Westerhoff. I grew up in Marine City, graduated from Marine City High School. I taught in East China schools for 38 years. Now I'm retired and enjoying
Wow.
life immensely. And I
Congrats.
was very pleased to be asked to join this committee. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Then old business. So I guess the final wording for the amendments and the bylaws. I don't think there's any changes.
I believe Pam may have sent something, I don't have it in front of me. She, what I provided was, again, just for conversation. If you don't want to use that, you certainly don't have to, but I need word for word how you want that to read in your bylaws. So whether you want to take whatever Pam had sent over, if somebody has reference, I don't. I think it was at the end of today, it was different wording.
Okay, so would you like me to just read this off? Or can I just approve the wording based upon the email that?
No, it should be read into the minutes.
Are we talking about her email to us?
Yeah, in regards to the
It's gotta be the
bylaws.
specific wording, because otherwise it's debatable what.
Okay, now I don't have that in front of me. I guess.
And so then
I don't know, you didn't have that email?
you'll take a vote on the exact wording and it'll be read into the minutes.
Okay, I guess I can read this. Okay, so the new wording is as follows. Secretary duties. The secretary, comma, a member of the park commission, comma, shall be assisted by recording secretary provided by the township, period. The recording secretary shall take and then provide draft minutes of each meeting within 7 days of the meeting, comma, to be sent to the secretary, comma, the park chairperson, and the township clerk for posting and review, as well as the minutes approved at the following month's park commission meeting, period. The secretary shall be a member of the Parks Commission, period. Anyone have any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve the new wording for the bylaws.
I'll support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. She never asked for any opposing.
And then did we have any announcements or member comments?
The only comment I would make is that, do we need to get the people that gave the presentation on the dog park back in, so all the members can take a look at that again?
Yes, we can definitely check.
And then I guess, do we have either a professional engineer or an
We do,
engineer
we go
here
through
that?
our township.
Right.
You know, like, the chair has already spoken with Dwayne, who's ahead of that, so that's already kind of in the works. And she said as of yesterday's date, he still hadn't had a date for them to survey it yet.
Okay, so he's going to do that separate than what we had done?
Correct.
Mhm.
I know she was in contact with Eagle too, so, yeah.
And Eagle was the company that did it on our
No,
behalf?
Eagle is, no. Who is Simons? Chris Simons, what does?
Precision.
He's
Precision
Precision,
Care.
and that's who she called to do the original 3 options. And
Right.
he, you know, he explained the differences.
I think there's 5.
Oh, there was 5, yeah.
There's 3 that you guys were interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you think that might be a recording of a meeting you had in
No.
Yeah, and we
October,
think
or
that's
not?
the one at the meeting that wasn't
course.
recorded.
Oh, it wasn't recorded, okay.
We
Well, we
think.
have copies of, somebody has a copy of the maps.
I have it at
Yeah.
home. I have all mine at home. I keep it, getting quite a file cabinet.
About,
Yeah, I had asked if someone could provide anything that was shared at that meeting. I was not present. And if you do have a copy, if you would please let
I
us
can
make
bring
a
it.
copy of it, because we
Yeah.
have nothing for record right now.
so can we have that in the minutes, that we're going to?
Yeah, I'll bring it next month.
Reorganize it, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
But I'm more interested where the blueprints are.
Yeah, because they were left here in the township hall.
Sitting right there, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't
And
know how-
he did it on every single one of his
Yes.
options.
Well, that's
you know,
what I'm
like-
talking about. So
Well-
no one has a copy of that?
They
No.
were huge blueprints, like
They're-
that
yeah,
paper
they're
there,
like-
and they were left here.
They're like big.
For-
Yeah, that was left right there.
Yeah, they were right
So
left here.
Leave it here so that.
Township
If
can have it
anyone
in the
could-
morning.
Yeah, so if.
We
you know,
probably
if-
should have been notified that it was left here. I don't think anyone advised us, and
I don't think
know.
anybody would throw
Where it
them
went.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
sure
know
if you
where it
opened it, or. had
I've
it-
looked high and
you
low
can't
in
just
the
throw
office.
it-
I've asked everyone.
They're like this big, how can they be disposed of so easily?
Well,
But
misplaced,
yes, they
I
were,
would say.
yeah. Yeah, we can definitely, have him come or request.
But I'll pull like the minutes and the numbers and the options.
Good, good.
He did a nice job at printing
did
out
yeah.
for each one of us, so I'll bring that for you next month.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other items for the commission? Okay, I adjourn this meeting at 8:14 PM.
Can I just make a quick note that
Yeah,
you usually
before-
should ask for a motion to adjourn
Yeah.
and not declare the meeting adjourned.
Okay, so I
That's
make a
just a
motion.
formality if we're wanting to follow.
Oh, okay. I make a motion to
Robert's
adjourn
rules.
this meeting at 8:15 PM.
Support.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll still let you do this
I'm not
again.
gonna ask.
You're good at it.
Thank you.
For-
So the reason for that is